All right, you're welcome. It's still Good Morning Anambra show on ABS television. And we are so delighted to inform you that we've been joined by, one of the greatest people that help in traffic in Anambra State or nationwide in the whole of Nigeria to ensure that things are working properly on our road, especially as it concerns accidents on the road. We are talking about the Road Safety Commission, and we've been joined this morning by the Deputy Corps Controller, Commander Okora Awasam. Did I get the name?
Yes, the Deputy Corps
All right,
Commander
the
Operations.
sector head of operations, Federal Road Safety Corps, Anambra State. We're so delighted to have you in the studio this morning, Ma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. You're looking for anything?
No.
Okay, you're welcome to the studio. And quickly, before going into the main thing, would like you to let us know your responsibilities in Anambra State as it stands.
Yeah. Clearing of obstructions. My responsibilities in Anambra State are clearing of obstructions that may be caused by crashes or by broken down vehicles, because most times vehicles break down and then the driver of that vehicle may not have access to mechanical repairs, and so the vehicle will be there until they are able to have access to medical repairs. So we clear such obstructions. We make sure that roads are safe for the road users. How do we ensure that? We carry out public education. If we don't, we will not be able to school the road users on how best to make use of the roads. We carry out enforcement on traffic offenses, because that is the only way to make the road users adhere to traffic regulations. We don't only do that. Once there is a crash or we get information on a crash, we have the golden hour to meet, to make sure that we get to the point before 5 minutes elapse, except the proximity is what cannot be helped. We don't only do that. We go out on the roads every day. We have the operations department that makes sure that we are seeing and we see other road users. That is why visibility is important, because most traffic offenders that are recalcitrant, if they see that road safety is on the road, the road safety personnel or the team is on the road that is there for enforcement, mere seeing road safety, they become jittery and they take precaution. We call it, they take dressing.
They take what?
Dressing immediately. Yes. So that they will not get into road safety's trouble, as they call it. But we are not trouble.
All right. I think we'll still get to that relationship of road safety with the citizens. But now, there's something I would want you to really address. When it comes to road safety, there should be signs on our roads to let people understand the route to take, where not to take. Road safety has been in operation for a long time. And there was a time I started seeing those signs in Onitsha. But along the line, I don't know whether they removed the ones I was seeing around the MCC junction. Now, is there anything you are doing? Because I believe that will help in enlightening the public of the route to take, what to do on the road and what not to do. Now, is there anything you're doing to bring that back? That's, putting signs on our roads that you need to, this is the road you follow, this is where you're not to follow, this is a no-go area, this is a no-no. I think it's the responsibility of the road safety. Is there anything you're doing currently to see that it gets back to the road?
Yes. The Ministry of Works pleases that, but we produce the road signs. That's why we have a signage plant at the national headquarters of Federal Road Safety Corps in Abuja.
Okay.
We produce the signs, and then they are gotten and placed on the road. We have road signs on some parts of the road, but it can't be everywhere. There are areas where it is not just the road signs. We need zebra crossings. Like if you go to Regina Shelley, let me use that as an example, since it is the place that is in our catchment area. That is our area of coverage or our area of jurisdiction. Anyhow you want to put it. What is there is that we experience hit and run on that road because of so many indexes. But what we are recommending to be there now should be a zebra crossing. In the foreign world or in the Western world, once somebody gets to a zebra crossing, once a pedestrian steps on a zebra crossing, all traffic automatically come to a halt. So we need something like that at that point. There are areas that we need other things to put in place so that we don't record crashes on those places. So that Regina Shelley is an example. There are places here in Anambra, for example, that we record crashes, that are crash prone. So such places, we devise other modalities to make sure that we try at all costs to curb the excesses of the road users to reduce crashes on such routes.
Okay, apart from zebra crossing, you know,
I just gave it as an example.
As an example, knowing that that place is accident prone most times, do you think of overhead crossing or pedestrian crossing?
Yes.
You know, is there any suggestion for the government of the state so that we, you know, the road safety in Anambra State starts recording maybe lower cases of accidents on the roads?
Yes, there is. Like what I talked about, I said zebra crossing there is because if we do not have an overhead bridge, the pedestrians will be crossing without care for their own safety. But because road safety was created for that purpose, to ensure safety on our roads and to make sure that proper use of roads is put in place for every road user. You know, it's not only the drivers, both the pedestrians, those that carry animals and what have you, even the blind, all of them. So what happens is that we make sure that if for any reason we cannot get a zebra crossing in a place, then there should be a pedestrian crossing. If there's no pedestrian crossing there, then there should be road signs that will direct the road users on how to maneuver at that point. That is where we come in. And we always recommend to the government on what to do in situations of that magnitude. And not just that.
Can you give us the recommendation here? Because I believe government officials of Anambra State are watching this program.
Yes.
They could do something about it. You know.
What we do is that we constantly go into intense and aggressive public education to educate the road users on what to do at those points. Then we interface with the park managers and drivers on how to drive at those points. Then our aggressive enforcement too on speed limit device, because in 2024, that is this 2024, 5% reduction in fatalities is our focus, because we do not want to record fatalities. We could record crashes. If there is a crash and there is no fatality, then it's as good as it not happening. It is better for us to educate the road users, especially those that are drivers, that what happens is that when you are driving on the road, realize that you are not only driving your vehicle, you are driving other vehicles too. How do you ensure that? is by adhering to the traffic rules. Even if the other road user or the other driver is not adhering to that traffic rule, you are adhering to it. So that was why initially when I spoke, I told you that we are recommending for zebra crossings, for overhead bridges that will help pedestrians to negotiate their movement, or let me put it as crossing the road to the other side without having any contact with the major road itself. They will be on top of the bridge. There's no way a vehicle will fly from under and come and touch you. So once we try to make other road users to realize that we are not only driving our own vehicles, we are already driving their own vehicles too, by making sure we go about it the right way. They too will take precautions, because sometimes when you tell somebody what you are doing is wrong, even abroad when they will bring out a red card to show to you that your driving style is wrong, the other road user, because they are more enlightened, they will understand that this person is trying to caution me that what I'm doing is wrong. But an average Nigerian man will not listen to you. He will carry on the way he's going.
I was even coming to that.
Yes. So it's our behavioral thing that brings about most crashes. It's our behavior as road users.
All right. I was coming for you to describe the attitude of average road users in Anambra State, or let me say your relationship with road users. How is it in the state? How is it?
Our relationship with the road users is cordial. Let me put it that way.
And their attitude?
And their attitude, most times, does not spell what we expect them to perceive.
And does it even show that they know? Or they understand the rules?
They understand, because one of the strategies we use is morning cry. Very early in the morning, before the patrol teams embark on patrol, they go to the motor parks and they cry out to the drivers to make sure that they drive safely. And that the only way we can make them realize this is to tell them very early in the morning that, have you been able to run a check on your vehicle? Have you done your morning drills on your vehicle, checking your water, checking your fan belt and all of that? Your radiator and all of that. Your tires, because sometimes your tires may pick a nail in the evening when you were driving back. And by morning, you will not know the tire has gone down. So it's that early morning when you're running that drill on that vehicle that you ensure that.
Road safety does this?
Yes.
And
we call it morning cry, yes.
Okay.
If you check our reports, we have it there. And if we carry this out, we expect that the drivers have been educated on how best to make use of the road and how best to put their vehicles in a safe condition to enable them drive safely to their destinations. So if we are into this, we expect that even a madman that listens to you when you are talking to him, if he goes back to his house to lie down and sleep, he will remember that thing you said to him. And he will take precaution. So it's not about enforcement all the time. Enforcement. That is why we have a program that we call Free Vehicle Safety Checklist Exercise. What we do in that free vehicle safety exercise is for us to make sure that once in a while, especially before a period of celebration like Christmas, Easter, and all of that, we go out to that road. We don't enforce. What we do is to tell the road user or the drivers that we want to check your vehicle so that we can fish out the defects. And we believe that if we fish out these defects and you go back home or you close for the day, you will go back and work on those defects so that the next day when you're bringing out your vehicle, it would have been put in order. Or even if you cannot do it that day, before we come out for another free vehicle safety checklist exercise, we expect that you have already posted the vehicle.
This is a very beautiful one.
Yes, free vehicle safety checklist.
But I would like you to let us know, do you people let the citizens know that you will be doing this so and so time? Because I believe that so many people would like to, their vehicles to be checked. Because since it is free, they're not paying anything. They'll be glad to, come out and do that. Do you let them know that you're doing this? Maybe you're doing it in 6 months' time or in 3 months' time or so and so date or so and so week in this particular area? Do you go about
whenever we have or we come out for radio programs or television programs just like this one, we educate the road users that before any period of celebration, any festivity, we come out for free vehicle safety checklist exercise.
So like Easter is coming,
yes,
when are you doing it?
We are going to carry it out. A roster will come out, a schedule will come out from the national headquarters that will make every command, every field command in the whole federation where road safety formations are located to carry out this program. They will be told, or the memo will spell out the dates. And when we have free vehicle safety checklist exercise, it takes like 4 days, sometimes 5 days. It will just be on free vehicle safety checklist exercise. What we do is that we come out to check the defects of your vehicles. We tell you where the problem is. We will even educate you. We use it for public education too. We will tell you we are not out to enforce any traffic offense for now. This is a period for free vehicle safety checklist exercise.
So it's going to take place during this Easter period?
Yes, we will carry it out before the Easter.
Okay.
We will now tell them, every road user we stop, every driver we stop, we tell him. They will be very happy. You know, they will quickly say, ah, that's good, they will stop. You check the whole vehicle.
They'll be your friends at that time.
At that period. Then you fill in everything. That's why whenever we have a booklet for that, just like we have our ticket for those that commit traffic offenses and we enforce those traffic offenses. When it comes to free vehicle safety checklist exercise, we have a different booklet entirely for that. We call it the free vehicle safety checklist exercise ticket. We now fill in your defects. At the end of the day, we do an analysis of the whole report for that state. Even the component commands like all these, for now, in Anambra, it is only 4 commands that are operational. And those 4 commands are Onisha, Upper Iweka, Nteje, and Oka, the ones that are on this corridor. We will tell them, we will now do our analysis. We will now discover that seatbelt violation, there were 200 bookings for seatbelt violation. While tire violation, it was only 10 in the whole of the state. That means the most prevalent offense is seatbelt violation. In that case, we will ensure that every road user, even our focus for the next operation, that's the next enforcement, will be more on seatbelt, because we have discovered that that's the area where people are not adhering to the directive on how best to use their vehicles and conduct themselves when they are driving. We will now focus on it. And now, even our rescue reports, the national headquarters has directed us to highlight on the use of seatbelts, because if there is a crash and there are 5 threshold deaths recorded, the driver of that vehicle will be prosecuted. I want the state to know this. And it has been cascaded down to 3 death thresholds. Even as less as 3, if you call it that, but 3 is still big because human lives are involved. And you know we are very, very particular about deaths. We don't want to record deaths on our roads. But let crashes occur if they want to. Let them be minor crashes, we don't care. But we don't want to record deaths. That is the problem. So because of that, if there are 5 threshold deaths recorded, we bring in the judiciary into it. And once we do that, the driver of that vehicle will be prosecuted, except he died in the process.
Exactly what I wanted to ask.
Because it is believed that he did not adhere to the rules. It's either his vehicle was mechanically deficient and he never bothered to get it fixed. All he's after is to make money on that road. We are not going to accept that. Road safety says total no. We are zero tolerant to that. We don't want to record this. We will make sure that the information is sent to the national headquarters. We have a motor vehicle administration department that will check for the ownership of that vehicle. And they will be prosecuted.
All right, let me come in here.
Yes.
You know, most times it seems the fear of road safety on the roads is the beginning of wisdom in most of our roads anyway. Now, I would want you to enlighten our people the necessary requirements a driver should have while using the road. What are the necessary things? You know, most times when you go out, sometimes there are things the police will be asking you, road safety will be asking you.
Yes.
You are confused which one the road safety is supposed to do and which one the police is supposed to ask you. So now let the public know what are the basic requirements of a road user, especially when you're using your vehicle on the road. But when road safety checks you, they say that you're in order.
When I am happy about this question, once we stop you on the road, I told you we must cite a primary offense. Okay. That is why once you are stopped, the arresting marshal that will attend to you in that team may first ask you if you are a licensed driver. Okay. Because even if the offense on your vehicle that is the primary offense is cited, we want to know whether you are even legally permitted to drive on Nigerian roads, on Anambra roads, because we are in Anambra State. Once you are asked for your driver's license and you say, I forgot it, we have already noticed that you do not have a driver's license and you are driving illegally. That is number one. You are in for it. Then we will now tell you, this is what we saw. We saw that your side mirror is already broken. Even the casing of that side mirror is not on it, and you are driving. So how do you make use of the road? You know very well that the inner mirror has its own purpose. It lets you see back the behind of your road to a certain point, while the side mirrors allow you to see the sides of the road that you are using. Because sometimes somebody can run across and you had already moved your vehicle, but you could see it from your mirror at the side that somebody ran to the road. You will know how to take precaution, even in your driving style, so that you don't cut scales there for even the road user behind you, the driver behind you. You understand? So we now want to know if your side mirror is out there because you refuse to put it, or it just broke. If you say it just fell from the casing, it is a different thing. We will understand that you had it, but it fell off. And there will be a sign that it just fell off. If we now ask, where is your fire extinguisher? You know, that is a secondary thing, because it is supposed to be inside your vehicle. Where is your fire extinguisher? You say it is here. Why did you drive and you did not use a seatbelt? That was even the reason why we stopped you. You can see that we first asked you for your license, whether you are legally permitted to drive. We now said, we stopped you because you were not using a seatbelt. Why? And we now check, we say that the seatbelt is not there. That is another offense. Your tires, we now notice that actually your tires are okay. But one, it may be the spare one. But even if it is a spare one, let it be at least a little bit in order. And let it not be an expired tire. Because it is the only contact you have, your vehicle has with the road. If your tire is not in good shape, it is a problem. Like for now, we are on driver's license and number plates. We will now ask you, why is your number plate washed? If it's washed, it's already defaced. And that number plate that is defaced, how can you be using it to drive? If there is any reason why you have to be called to order for one thing or the other, one traffic offense or the other, if we cannot see your number and then it has washed, you understand? We know that it is an offense. You are supposed to get it replaced. You don't have any right to go and get it painted. Some people go to a roadside painter to repaint it. It is illegal.
But that plate number is being issued by the road safety.
Very good.
Is it supposed to wash? Are you expected to change it?
It's not that you are expected to change it. It depends on how you made use of it. If you're washing your vehicle, you don't have any reason to use chemicals to wash the number plate. Use ordinary water and clean it. You can use it for as long as you want to use it, and it will not wash. So it is you that made it to get washed. It got defaced. And when you got it defaced, you did not bother to come to the appropriate quarters to ask for a replacement, it will be replaced. It will be replaced. So, do you have a jack in your vehicle? If your tire goes down, what do? You must have a spare tire in the vehicle too. If you don't have a spare tire, you are in trouble.
All right, I think you hold it, so we'll still get back to talk more on the requirements of the citizen using the road. We'll take a short break here. The program is Good Morning, Anambra, and we are with the Deputy Corps Commander Okoro Awasam in the studio. We take a short break. When we return, we'll continue to enlighten us more on what are needed before the road. Don't go anywhere.
For school? Yes. My champs, they use energy at school. I know because imagine the energy they may have used up to return home this transform every day.
Your champs need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast.
It has nutrients that support energy release to help champs get the most out of their active days. Milo!
Right, you're welcome back to the studios of Good Morning Anambra show where we are talking safety on Anambra roads with the Deputy Corps Commander Okoro Awasam in the studio. Now, Madam, you were trying to enlighten Anambra people, in the Anambra, on what is required. We've talked about jack, we talked about our tires, talked about driver's license. So you're still talking on some other requirements that we need in our vehicles before we use the road so that we don't have a problem with road safety.
Yes. So I have talked about some of them. You are supposed to make sure you have these things in your vehicle. If you do not have it, then you run into a problem. What then will you use to resolve it? These are things you will use to resolve that problem. If your tire goes down on the road, is it not that jack you will use to make sure you remove that tire and you put another one? But if you refuse to keep it, you will not be waiting for another person to come and help you. You know the worst thing? That you are driving, you don't have a fire extinguisher. It is terrible. Nobody knows when problems come up. You might be having fuel in your vehicle.
Even if it's not your vehicle, it could be another person.
You could help another road user. You might be driving, and then they are burning the bushes. If you are traveling on the road, you see that in some places, the bush is close to the road. Not that those that planned the construction of that road did not do it correctly. But somehow, the maintenance is the problem. The bush now grows, the grasses now grow. Maybe it's in a forest. The grasses now grow and start encroaching into the major road. Before people will pass, it becomes a problem. It is only if the local community decides to raise an alarm, and if it is in a place where you do not have traffic organizations, road traffic organizations, or of commissions like road safety and the rest, you understand, call offices like road safety and the rest, who will go there to cross-check. That is why we have a spread of road safety corps in the whole country to check all of this. We find time to go out and check whether something like this is wrong with this part of the road or not. You know, some roads are slippery, the surface is not slippery, maybe because of overuse and all that. Then we recommend.
Okay. Now, Madam.
For repairs of roads,
okay, now,
bridges, and the rest.
Okay. Now, you will agree with me that you have some overzealous workers among your workers. You're not always there on the road with them. At this point, there's something I would want you to address, because most of us are on the road most of the times. You see some road safety stop as much as 5 vehicles at a time, checking 5 vehicles at a time, and still stopping more, you know, and sometimes they go into trouble with, especially with all these commercial vehicles, sometimes they stop them, they refuse to stop, and they start chasing them. Is there anything you can say about this? You know, because you say the relationship between the citizens of Anambra State and road safety is cordial. We want it to be more cordial. So if you'll address this issue, please.
If you say they pursue vehicles, no, road safety does not pursue vehicles.
They no longer do it.
But as a head of operations that is in charge of anything operations and the roads, when it comes to our job functions, no road safety staff in Anambra is allowed to pursue a vehicle. Every morning before they step out, we have what we call pre-patrol briefs. So, if you are already told that you cannot pursue a vehicle, you can't go to the road and pursue a vehicle. So what you are saying that some are overzealous, they can't even try it. Because we have processes to follow. So you don't, it is a paramilitary organization. You don't just wake up and do what you like. You follow procedures. You don't go out of your way to do what you feel is right for you, no. And there is no way they will stop up to 5 vehicles, because a team is made up of 5 men. One is a driver and he sits in the vehicle. So how can they stop 5 vehicles? Then how will the 3 arresting marshals and 1 team leader attend to 5 vehicles at a time? I don't want to agree to that. If it is noticed that they do that, you will be cautioned immediately. You can be recalled back to the base. That is why we have teams that go out for monitoring. Even I, as the head of operations, I go out to monitor. We are having a mobile court, for example, now. It is on. There is no way any vehicle will be pursued. We have not been on mobile court for close to 3 years. We just started, and this is the second one. Right now, the mobile court is on. Before I came for this radio program, I did a pre-patrol brief myself to make sure they adhere to the operational guidelines. We even have a full booklet, a book on it. So even if you are a new staff and you are in operations, even when you are not in operations, in the event of an exam, you can be asked a question on that. You go through the operational guideline, you must study it. So you cannot walk outside the ambit of what the guideline spells out. So they cannot stop more than 2 vehicles at a time.
All right, our time is fast spent here, although we still have some few minutes. I would like you to really talk to Anambra, because I must give kudos to road safety, especially during the Christmas period. I enjoy you so much, especially on the bridge while traveling for Christmas season. You know, a lot of road safety or commercials are on the road, seeing that we pass through, we don't have gridlock on our roads. But now, you know, I don't know what you will tell Anambra, for instance, or your workers, you know, to ensure that that cordial relationship you are having with them, you know, persists, especially when it comes to checking them, you know, let them not be afraid of road safety, how to cooperate generally with road safety officials to ensure that there is safety on Anambra roads.
I want to assure Anambra that we are your friends. We are passionate about your safety on the highways. If we can carry blood, even when the hand gloves get torn, you should know that we are passionate about your safety without caring if it is safe for us or not. I want to assure you that you do not have any problem with road safety. I am the head of operations of road safety in Anambra. If nobody attends to your problem, if you are wrongly booked, you come to me and complain. I always see to it that I get it rectified. I will never allow you to be wrongly booked. And I want you to realize that sharing the road with other road users is what safety, ensuring safety in Anambra entails. It involves that. So please have it at the back of your mind that you are sharing the road with others. So you have to show consideration. The blind, the cyclists, drivers, school children, and what have you. Then avoid overconfidence, because that's always the case. You feel you are very confident. You've been driving for 20 years. You can drive for 200 years. But the minute it happens, it's a 1 second thing. You will not be able to rectify it again. So, speed. Stop excessive speed. The vehicle is not a human being. It cannot think. Hence, the speed of a vehicle depends on the driver. Keep a safe following distance, please. Because if you do not keep a safe following distance, there will be a problem. You can't be able to maneuver in the event of an eventuality of a crash. I wish you well in Anambra State. We are your friends.
Thank you so much. We can go on and on, but I think this much time could allow us on the show. And I believe you can come to ABS to take time on radio, maybe 15 minutes. You can buy 15 minutes to do enlightenment program from time to time for Anambra to learn more on road science and road usages so that we avoid crashes on our roads. We'd like to appreciate you so much, the Deputy Corps Commander Okora Awasam, our Sector Head of Operations, Federal Road Safety Corps, Anambra State. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Welcome, my dear friend.
All right, and that's it on Good Morning Anambra show for today. Would like to appreciate you for always joining in. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Until tomorrow, it's a goodbye from here.
Ready for school? Yes! My champs, they use energy at school. I know because imagine the energy they may have used up. To return home this transform every day.
Your champs need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast.
It has nutrients that support energy release to help champs get the most out of their active days.